Hello everyone, you're here with H. That's an intro that I used to do back in the day. Am I bringing it back? Who knows? You've seen the title of this video. A lot of people have suggested over the past few months to do or commentate over my £600 life, I think it's called. But I've tried it twice now, and they've been 2-hour recordings and they get blocked. I'm not sure how others do it. I know you can chop it up and right, but even I've done that and ended up with a 1 hour half being fisted. So you've seen the title. This, I'm just going to assume is kind of similar. I don't know. But hey, we'll see how many people are going to be triggered by what I say. Because a lot of people in the catfish videos get triggered. Of course, I'm going to keep it respectful, but we'll see.
I started gaining weight when I was like 2.
How do you know? How do you know? I can't remember anything from the past week. Let's also make it very, very clear that what type of gaining weight are we talking about here? Because, I mean, granted, as you grow, you gain weight, right? But are we talking ridiculous scales here? And you could make a question of what are they doing?
By 25, I was about 550 pounds. I'm about to go on my blind date. I'm so nervous. Dating is hard because men, they're just kind of like trash. Being big and beautiful, I just feel like I am fetishized. I'm a goal, like I'm a conquer. I don't want to have to question myself anymore in my relationship. I don't want to have to be insecure in my relationship anymore.
I understand. Who wants that, right? But I also understand, of course, if you're talking about the guys who want to have sex with you because you're bigger, yes, fetish, weird. It's weird. But then to say that men are trash because they don't want to be with you, at least I'm going to assume, right, you're talking about men are trash in the aspect that the ones who see you as a fetish, they're trash. But if you're talking in general, and any man who doesn't want to be with you, it makes them trash, right? Get a grip of yourself. Just because someone... Here, we like to... A lot of people in comments on other videos, in particular when talking about race, like to use the word preference, right? In the case of cockhead Jodie, people said that she's allowed a preference when, au contraire, she was talking about not liking to look at black people. Drew is one of the good ones. You remember all the shit she said. That's not a preference. That's being a dickhead, okay? Sorry if that bursts any bubble you might have, but that's not a preference. In regards to this, there are men who prefer to be with bigger people. What's the likelihood you are essentially going after those type of men? If this is a case of you trying to make every man like you, you need a reality check. I'm sorry, right? When I was bigger, when I was younger, hence why I want to do the My £600 life. I wouldn't class myself, or I wasn't diagnosed as obese, right? But I was bigger and very insecure. I used to pull my shirt down, that classic shirt down. I had a big ass, and I still do, unfortunately. And even to this day, when I wear clothes, I try to make them as baggy as possible so you can't really see it. But it's very narcissistic of me especially when I was younger, if when a girl didn't like me, I told her, what's wrong with you? You have issues. You're trash for not liking me. End of the day, that's a preference, right? Distinguish preference with bigotry, Does that make sense? Goodness, I could have dug myself a hole there. I hope, I hope that everyone who does watch me long enough or has watched me long enough knows the type of person that I am. So if anyone, takes this as some sort of an attack, I'm not sure what to tell you.
Have you ever dated a plus size woman?
No.
Okay, first of all, interesting question to ask on a first date. But second of all, what the hell took you so long to answer that question? I'm not sure. I mean, if he was perhaps skirting around, maybe trying to not be offensive, but it's either yes or no, you've dated plus size or not. Unless he's trying to do the maths. Oh, what we class in as plus size, Going back to the point earlier, again, what's the likelihood she's actively pursuing men who would find her attractive, right? I don't understand people who chase people who are not attracted to them and then go on a mad one, you're trash, blah, blah. It's like when people say, oh, she's playing hard to get. No, she just doesn't like you. Move on. There are many people in this world who will like you for who you are. What's the likelihood she's doing that?
I'm very chic, and it's cute, and it's comfy, and I don't have to worry about tugging anything all day. My name is Nina. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm 35 years old. And
Okay, what is... is that 69? Can you see that? I'm doing stretches. That's a 69. It's a good logo. I feel her on that aspect with the tugging, right? Do you know how many... Well, you don't know. It'd be pretty weird if somehow someone knows this. But I've bought so many underwear over the years just because some of them rile up or ride up. Rile up? My underwear's riled up. What does that mean? Some of them are just so tight and like I'm always having to change. I'm someone that my weight changes a lot for some reason. 1 week, I will put on so much weight and then I will have to essentially force myself to cut back on food because I overeat. I binge eat as well as a way of coping with shit. Definitely don't do that, everyone, please. If there's one piece of medical advice you take from me, it's to not binge eat. That's just not good. Don't do it to yourselves. I feel her on that respect, the tugging and stuff. Anyone else find it a bit weird that I know that on first dates you have to obviously get to know the person, but that seemed more of an interrogation and more of a you are going to like me. I don't care if my personality is poo. I'm not saying it is before anyone gets their underwear riled up. But so far, the vibes I'm getting from her is someone who has a very, very strong sense of bravado, right? There's confidence, but then there's also arrogance. And obviously she displayed it with men must like me, otherwise they're trash. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she was talking about, the men who fetishize bigger women. So
300 pounds by the time I was about 12, 13. I think.
Leave that pause in there as I compose myself. We like to call out destructive behavior on the Catfish channel, right? I'm not sure what the parents were doing in this instance, but look, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that weight for a child is healthy. Dare I say, what am I daring to say? I don't know. If I remember somewhere up there, the video of the mother feeding her child like donuts and stuff, once in a while, You know, all right, if you're going to give a donut for a breakfast, maybe once every month or something, all right. But in this case, 300 pounds at 12, 13, bro, there's wrestlers that are less. So, not sure what the parents were doing in that aspect. I feel like if she had a medical issue, she would have said already.
I graduated high school around almost 400 pounds.
Bro.
By 25, I was about 550 pounds. I want to find love now because I feel like I know it's going to be real. You loved me then, and it's just like, let's ride off into the sunset with my, you know, my BBL and my, my flat stomach.
I don't know what you're talking about, BBL there, but if you genuinely are sitting there contemplating getting a BBL instead of working on yourself in a natural way, I've said it before in other videos as well, where we look at, there was a woman who wanted her rib cage removed. I'm a big advocate of being true to yourself, and if you're going to work on yourself, do it in a natural way. Please don't type in the comments, who are you to say what someone else should do? I'm not saying anything. At the end of the day, if she wants to go and get a BBL, all right, all power to her. All right, you wouldn't say that to a doctor who says, no, I'm not gonna give you a BBL. It's dangerous. Would you tell the doctor it's not your choice to do? It's not your choice to say that to someone? You wouldn't. Again, we call out destructive behavior. I hope that's you're making a joke there, and it's not just you saying, "Oh, I want a BBL" as a means of essentially losing weight. I do understand her though, in the sense that if you're not gonna rock with me the way I am now, then you don't deserve me when down the line I feel good about myself and I'm slimmer, etc. I understand her on that aspect. Not really the same example, but there was a few comments over I think like a month ago or something, where if you remember, I made a post about it as well, where a lot of people were complaining about my innuendos, and one of them said that they will come back at a future time to check how I'm doing, and then if I've toned down the innuendos, they will watch again. So I understand if, you either support me now or you don't support me at all. I understand her in that aspect. But again, that doesn't mean people are trash if they don't want to be there with you for the ride. At the end of the day, people are going to do what they're going to do. And especially when it comes to dating, for that YouTube example, I'm not sure it's a really good example, but in terms of dating, when you're going to be spending a lot of time with the person, if you're not attracted, like, at the end of the day, if you're not attracted to someone, what is the point, right? I know, I've mentioned it before as well, looks aren't everything, but they do play a role. I don't know how long this video is going to be, by the way, because I think I've played 1 minute of this clip and I've talked maybe 20 minutes.
Kind of like trash.
All men,
when you see a fat person, you automatically think they are lazy, they stink. I go to the gym 3-4 times a week. I don't eat sugar. I don't drink soda. I don't drink juice. I don't go to fast food. My type aesthetically, I like...
Right. Again, I mean, this video is probably skirting on controversial, but especially in 2024, where I could say I like apples and someone will tell me, what, does that mean you don't like bananas? Get a grip of yourself if you're that type of person who gets offended by everything. Probably get off of YouTube or go watch, kids' YouTube or something. But for her to say she goes to the gym and cuts out sugars, fast foods, etc., I mean, what do you mean by this? Because unless you are, in the gym for like 5 minutes, and I don't know, you spend it on your phone or something, or when you come back home, yeah, you're having a salad, but you're chucking in tons of, I don't know, what do you call healthy? I don't know, the lean meats, right? If you're not in a calorie deficit, you will gain the weight. So I'm not sure what you are doing in any of this. I think she did lose weight though. When she was 25, she said that she was 550. And I think now she's 36, she said, and she's like around 400. So kudos, fair play. But I hope you're doing it consistently. I'm not sure you're doing it consistently.
Beard, I like full lips.
What?
I like a mysterious guy, but a confident guy. In a perfect world, I would meet him and he would be my type and I would be his type. I'm ready for my blind date.
Well, I mean, you've just said it there. You have a type. So, if a man doesn't have a beard and you don't like them, is he going to cry and say, oh, you're trash because you don't like me, I don't have a beard? Do you see my point? It's giving narcissist. Like, everyone must like you, but you are allowed to have a type, but not them. I love the fact that I've paused it on her toes, by the way. The foot fetish in me is screaming right now. Oh my, have I outed myself? No, I've said it before in a video. Now everyone knows if you're watching this.
I know absolutely nothing about my date. This is a blind date.
Who set this up?
So I will be surprised anyway.
Who set this up?
Hi.
My name's Matt.
My name is Nina.
Nice to meet
Let's not get it, twisted at all, by the way. She has a beautiful face. Now, that's not me saying, oh my God, he said the face is beautiful, so her body must be ugly. That's not what I'm saying. And once again, get a grip of yourself. But do you know how many posts I've seen online? And even myself, when I lost weight, you might not think I've lost weight because I still have a belly, but I was a lot bigger. But when I lost the weight, I felt so much better about myself. I didn't give off a false sense of confidence like she's giving off. But even online, people just look so much happier, like genuine happiness, and of course the health benefits. I've said in a previous video as well, I think it was a Love Don't Judge video, where the guy obviously liked bigger women, so kudos. She found someone that loves her for who she is. But at the same time, there needs to come a point where I understand that you like, or your preference is bigger women. But if you truly cared about your partner, you would, at some point, encourage them to essentially get healthier, right? I mean, if someone's going to sit there and tell me that the size that she is, especially, 550 pounds, kudos, she lost some. So her losing some is her wanting to lose more. And I'm going to assume that she does, right? However, it's not entirely healthy, all right? If you're someone who solely fixates on positivity, you need to know that on this channel, whilst we are empathetic of people, we don't believe in coddling on this channel here. So, especially if she wants to become a mother in the future, I've seen many videos. If you have ever seen that video of a mother is like getting out of the car and stuff, and her baby's in a pram, and the pram begins to roll down a hill into like a road, and she tries to run after the pram and she can't. She falls over, then she can't get back up. That video is very upsetting in the fact that if the man that came past didn't, stop the pram, I don't know what would have happened to that baby, right? And the mother is on the floor. She can't get up. Do you see my point? Like, you shouldn't sit there and say to these people that, they're at a healthy stage in their life. I don't know her medical record, right? But even if nothing is wrong, we'll say, health-wise, and I'm gonna vouch for myself in this instance, nothing is wrong health-wise, sure, but the uncomfortability in even just walking, right? And when I was in school, obviously you have to wear trousers. It's very difficult to find trousers that would fit and at the same time make me look, I don't want to say normal, but I felt like I wasn't normal. But trousers that fit, but also hid the fact that I was bigger. A lot of complications, and then obviously I struggled to walk sometimes. My knees were hurting. So even if there's nothing diagnosed wrong, it's just not healthy. I'd love to check how long I've been talking, but I digress.
So how old are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
And I said, how old are you?
Oh, well, I'm good, and I'm 41.
Okay.
Okay, well, he doesn't want to be here. That's the vibe I'm getting from him. Either he's genuinely really, really nervous, or he is doing what I said earlier and skirting around, trying to think of just a general answer that can fit any question. How old are you? Yeah, pretty good. Calm down.
You do anything out of work?
Sadly, no, not really.
No passion, no nothing?
Not really, no. I'm a gamer.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's like
Yes.
a stress reliever.
I don't know nothing about games at all. I just know that guys like to play them.
Yeah, I used to be into music.
Not sure if you're aware, Nina, but there are also women that like to play video games. Oh my god. What a shock. I don't know if it's me maybe reading too much into it, but if someone tells me that they don't particularly have a hobby or a passion, especially on the first date, I'm not going to sit there and say, what? No passion? Really? Like, let's calm down. You don't know this person's life, right? Maybe they had a passion and for whatever reason they gave up on their passion. Like, I don't know. I don't know where they are in this restaurant, by the way. How does he have food already? I don't like the leaves that are just there. Is it a vegan restaurant? I'm plant-based for anyone, before someone cries about that. You know, this episode or this video is, part of me is 99% of me is saying whatever the hell I want to say. But then, of course, there's the 1% of me that in the back of my head, I'm thinking, oh, is someone going to cry about this? Oh, is someone going to take offense to this? Realistically, I mean, who's going to cancel me? I can't be cancelled. I'm such a small channel. And if anyone should be cancelled, it's someone like Jodie, right? Who, for some reason, still ended up on the Catfish show again after that. But I digress.
At a certain age, and I kind of, focus on more, serious things.
That's something you can still do.
See, I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I can't, I'm not
You're not a dreamer.
I'm a dreamer within reason. I can't live in this house.
A dreamer with the reality sense.
you can't.
I like that.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I understand that. Actually, we need that from the Catfish victims. You can have a dream, sure. I dream of 1 million subs. How realistic is it? I'm not sure. But I'm not sitting here going to cry if I don't get 1 million subs, if that makes sense. But when he says that he moved on to serious things, I feel like he's shitting on video games and it's upsetting me. You can... Hypocrite? Much? But you can still play video games and be serious. Come on, man. GTA 6 soon. Maybe.
I'm that person, like, like the 41-year-old rapper. I'm an influencer on social media, but it wasn't because I tried to. It's just because I just influenced because of my size, because of the way that I dress. And I've always been, like, not loud, but, like, if I'm not loud, my outfit's loud. If I'm not loud, my hair, or my makeup, or my tattoos. And I don't know, like, I guess I just get attention. Even if I didn't want it, it just happens.
Yeah, man. That's the look I'm giving as well. Just, what are you talking about here? Like, that especially gave big narcissist vibes. If I'm not loud, my outfit's loud. Or my tattoos, etc., etc. This is a first date, bro. Like, it should be about the other person. Like, as much as you also talk about yourself, I'm not sure in the light that you're speaking about yourself here is exactly attractive in regards to mindset and personality. Now, it gives me, and I could be wrong, of course, let me know in your thoughts in the comments, but she has made her weight, her personality. If you've watched some of the other Love Don't Judge videos that I have done, this isn't that, but similar, I guess. When there was a woman, Linda, her name was, I can't remember, but the one who, didn't like that people were so much calling her a gold digger, but all she did was talk about her husband's money and flaunt her husband's money. So, realistic, what can you expect? If I was to, I'm trying to think of an example here, but if I was to constantly talk about my nose, for example, right? I used to get made fun of it as a kid. It's big, whatever. But if I was to constantly talk about my nose, and then all my comments were about my nose, and then I say, oh, guys, stop talking about my nose. Do you know what I mean? So, her personality just doesn't seem good so far. It's very, I'm this, I'm that, you must like me, blah, blah. So, what is this bottle? By the way, this blue thing, it looks like toilet cleaner. You need to brush out the shit that you're speaking.
Family loved me so much that I actually never really felt the hate until I left the house. My family always told me how beautiful I was, and I was just normal, I guess. And I'm guessing being 300 pounds at 13 wasn't probably the normal, but my family loved me so much I really didn't pay attention. I was delusionally confident because it's the only way that I could actually get through life. You do not have...
Fair play. Taking some accountability there. I'm not sure if that has faded. I think you're still quite delusionally confident. But I'm glad that she has also mentioned it, so no one actually can say I'm being mean. I want to make sure that everyone understands that it's not a good way to live your life. I mean, growing up, I think we're all a bit, we're all putting on a bit of a bravado trying to make it in life. But as you grow older, if you're still clinging on to that delusion, you are in for a very rude awakening. And I do believe everyone needs to work on themselves in a manner that you get to a stage where you're content and not delusionally confident anymore, in the sense that once you're truly happy with yourself, I don't think if she was truly happy with herself, I don't think she would be mentioning her weight this much. But that's just my opinion. That's just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I do very much want to emphasize to work on yourself so that you're content with yourself. But also, that doesn't mean that although you are content with yourself, that you should be happy if you are, displaying destructive behavior. Like, if I was to just eat chips, right? Fries, if you call it fries, it's chips. But if I was to eat chips every meal, right? And yeah, I love myself, but what I'm doing to myself is not good. And if I'm getting bigger and bigger, and I at the risk of developing, heart disease, I'm not going to say, but I love myself the way I am. So it's a contrast, and it's a balance that needs to be had, if that makes sense.
Be big to go through things in life. Like when they see a fat person like sad outside, they're like, "Oh, she's probably sad because she's fat." I'm like, I just had a bad. Sorry, I just had a bad day. Like
Bro.
I wasn't even actually thinking about my weight right now. But damn, but I feel like when you see sad fat people, it's like
You assume that's what they said.
poor thing. She probably just wants to lose weight. Like no, you do. Leave me alone. Can I go to the bathroom real quick?
Certainly.
Okay.
Right, I don't know where you're taking the drink. Who goes to the bathroom and take their drink? I've never seen that before. But I feel like this guy is extremely uncomfortable. And I do want to make it clear that if you're going to a first date or any date, right? I don't think it's a good idea to consistently talk about your insecurities. Now, she's giving me the vibe, she's making a joke. It's what I do, right? Sometimes when and you've probably noticed in the videos, but when I make jokes about, for example, my big ass, right? It is an insecurity. And me joking is a way to cope with said insecurity. But I do it on a video, right? If I was to go on a first date, I'm not going to mention my big ass so many times. So I do understand if he's uncomfortable, because it's like, what do you want me to say? You've met me for the first time. I don't understand if she's seeking validation from essentially a stranger for him to say, yeah, no worries, you're beautiful. Shame to all the people who don't like bigger women. I'm not sure what you are expecting. And I don't know where you're going with the drink, but okay.
Am I attracted to Matthew? He's a little different from my type.
What does that mean?
I think
beard.
he's handsome.
Hello.
So should he cry now? Should he say you're trash because you don't like him?
Have you ever dated a plus size woman?
I don't think there's need for this.
No. I have
She's
been
shaking her
on
head.
dates with plus size women, but I've never
got into a relationship
Yes,
with
that's
them.
right,
Okay.
yes.
But you have been on dates with them.
Yes.
Was it their weight that stopped it, or
Bro.
you guys just weren't compatible?
Bro, if he turned around now and said, have you ever been on a date with a bald guy? And then, what's this interrogation? This isn't a first date. This is you projecting your insecurities, and you must make sure that Matthew here likes you. Not in a good way, right? You must like me. Even if you're not attracted, you must like me.
Some people are so guarded that they even jump in relationships with people and truly won't expose who they truly are, but then get mad when the relationship doesn't work.
Right.
And I'm just like, it's not going to work because you're not telling me who you are.
Right.
So I can't understand you if I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I understand that, but why are you in a relationship with someone that you hardly know? That might be controversial, but I've always believed in being friends first and then being in a relationship. But of course, everyone's situation is different. And then also, you could argue that when you're friends first. You truly don't know everything about that person until after. But I'm not sure what's her point here. Again, none of this screams a first date. I feel like she's trying to shame this man for maybe not finding her attractive. I don't know. I mean, he hasn't said anything yet, but we'll carry on.
As a plus size woman, have you had struggles with dating?
Have I been on dates? Yes, but I feel like for me, I've never been on that like traditional, like the man picks you up, he like sets the whole date, he has like the movie, the dinner. I think the biggest thing is like not being a fetish.
I understand. I mean, that must be difficult to, and a bit weird that people, I actually think we've touched on it, depending on when this goes out. But I'm assuming before this, I've done a video where those horny British grannies go to Gambia to essentially just have sex with young black men who are in vulnerable positions. Because if they tried to have said sex with similar young black men in their own, town or whatever, they wouldn't be able to. But I can understand the fetish, that is weird. But her speaking about she's never had the traditional date, etc., doesn't that just mean that you are going on dates with people who do not find you attractive? Because if someone finds you attractive and likes you, they're gonna do everything for you, right? Even if it is just a first date. So I bring back the point I made earlier. I'm not sure you are going on dates with people who actually find you attractive. I feel like you're forcing people to find you attractive, which is just not the right way to live. I'm pretty sure there is someone out there who has a beard, who likes bigger women, not as a fetish, who is your type. Why don't you try to find them? But I think the main point in that would be sometimes it's okay to not actively look for a relationship. Let the right person come to you. Because if the person approaches you, more often than not, they are going to be someone who likes you for you, because you didn't go chasing them and spinning some sort of manipulative story that, you must like me. Does that make sense? I mean, there's also the question of, are you going on dates with people of a similar weight? I'm not sure if that's harsh, but that is a thing to consider.
I don't want to have to question myself anymore in my relationship. I don't want to have to be insecure in my relationship anymore.
Of course.
Okay, wow. That shed some light on some things that I didn't know or understand. So wow.
A lot of people don't, and I think some people don't live in that world. Some people see me and think nothing. I'm just another normal human being. But for one of you, it's 1,000 that do. Like, of course, I do have a big personality, but also with that being said, like,
what did she say there? People look at her and think she's a normal person, but she's not. What? But you've described, of course, having insecurities, etc., but that makes you a normal person. Once again, I feel like you're trying to... Well, I don't feel like you're trying. I feel like you've made your weight your personality. And then by saying that, I feel like you're trying to sort of make yourself seem different to everyone else. Maybe, sure, your weight is different, but you as a human are not different to anyone else by having insecurities, etc. Like, it's giving narcissism.
And then people meet me and they're like, oh, but you're pretty calm. And I'm like, I'm not big sexy 24/7. Like, I'm Nina.
Right. Is your social media, is your like your podcast, like is that like your primary
podcast?
like job?
No, I'm a full-time makeup artist.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, let me just talk. I'm a full-time makeup artist.
Okay.
I was always like,
We've spoke about all this interrogation stuff. By the way, this is my job. You know, in that would usually be the start of a first date. Hey, what'd you do? No, it's taken this long to do it.
when I moved back into Philly, I started doing social media more. I started doing more with fashion and makeup, and it just snowballed.
It's impressive.
Thank you. My work and my personality, everything kind of all ties into why I think I'm so successful at this.
When he answered her questions, she did not show this level of interest in him as she does herself. I'm a big advocate, of course, put yourself first, right? If you've watched the Catfish reactions, you know I'm a big put yourself first, take care of yourself first, be content with yourself first before going to seek love. And I think that very much plays a big part in here. I don't think she's fully in love with herself, and she's trying to essentially find someone so that she doesn't have to love herself. They have to love her, and she doesn't have to worry about that, right? It's very destructive in the long run, but it's too much about herself, this first date, regardless of her weight, right? I couldn't give a shit if a supermodel who was the size of a twig was sitting in this chair. It's just not, it's not human. It's not personable, if that makes sense.
Well, Nina, I had a really great time.
I don't think
really
you
did have a
did.
good time. The date went well.
I don't think you
I
did.
like that even if it doesn't go past this, I think I opened him up to like things that he never knew, never
I
thought
don't think
about.
so.
Overall, I think it went well. I was comfortable. We had good conversation.
Do you guys think you'll see each other again?
Be honest.
I would be down to go out to dinner again. I think you're a good conversationalist.
Yeah, it was good company.
He'd pass up a good company.
He's
and a bite.
capping.
I have broke so many barriers being my size. It's hard, but for the most part, I really push through. You only got one life, and I'm living the hell out of mine.
The whole episode, right? Thanks for watching. Subscribe now, everyone, please. The whole episode, he seemed very uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Kudos to her for breaking barriers, and obviously, I've never heard of her podcast or whatever, but kudos to that. However, I do believe that she still has a lot to work on within herself. I do hope that she continues to work on losing weight, as she's mentioned. You know, coming from 550 to around 400, that is an incredible achievement. So I hope that she continues. I hope that she doesn't make other things her personality. Please, you want to not be defined by your weight, but it seems that's the only thing you can talk about. And then you sprinkle in, I'm this, I'm that. I'm loud, my outfit's loud. It's just not, again, regardless of her weight, that's not someone that I would want to be on a date with, regardless. The whole point is about finding out about the other person, asking questions, etc. You know, when he asked the question, sure, you've answered the question, but you didn't show that same level of enthusiasm about yourself to him, about his questions, his life. I don't know, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I don't know how old this video is. I've forgotten, but I hope she's doing well. And yeah, I think the main point to take from this is, don't make your insecurity your personality, if that makes sense. If you have something that you're insecure about, work on it, become content within yourself, so that you don't have to put on this mask in front of other people. You know, talking about your insecurities is one thing, but talking about them in a manner which you're essentially forcing the other person to like you despite them. People can like who they want to like at the end of the day. Preferences are a thing. And it's not your job to make people like you despite their preferences, if that makes sense. Definitely not in the dating world or any world, right? That doesn't make them trash. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Something a little bit different, I guess. Will it even go up? Who knows? Might get slapped with a blockage. But let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy? I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. Peace.